History remembers Cleopatra as a seductress, a femme fatale, who lured powerful men to their doom. But history is written by the victors. To understand the last pharaoh of Egypt, we must look beyond the Roman propaganda. She was a political supercomputer in a world of swords. Cleopatra was the first of the Ptolemies to speak Egyptian. She mastered 9 languages, using them as tools for diplomacy and trade, inheriting a kingdom in debt and shadowed by Rome. She faced a coup by her brother's advisors. She was exiled, but not defeated. While in exile, she raised an army. She knew that to regain her throne, she needed the most powerful man in the world, Julius Caesar. Julius Caesar arrived in Alexandria to settle the Egyptian civil war. He expected us. Instead, he met a strategist, smuggled into the palace inside a bedroll. Cleopatra bypassed her brother's guards. This wasn't a romantic stunt. It was a high-stakes, tactical infiltration. She convinced Caesar that an independent Egypt under her rule was more beneficial to Rome than an unstable province. Their alliance was forged in logic. Egypt was the breadbasket of the Mediterranean. Cleopatra managed its economy with iron precision, ensuring her kingdom's wealth remained unmatched. She followed Caesar to Rome, living in his villa. Her presence challenged the Roman Senate, signaling her intent to be a global player. The Ides of March changed everything. Caesar's assassination left Cleopatra vulnerable. Suffled Rome returning to Alexandria to protect her son. With Rome split by civil war, Cleopatra waited. She needed a new Roman ally to secure her borders. Enter Mark Antony. She met Antony at Tarsus. She arrived on a golden barge, not just for show, but to project the immense wealth and power of Egypt. Antony was a soldier. She was a sovereign. She offered him the resources of Egypt to fund his eastern campaigns in exchange for political recognition. The donations of Alexandria saw Antony granting Roman lands to Cleopatra and her children. It was a masterpiece of territorial expansion. In Rome, Octavian watched. He used Cleopatra as a scapegoat, painting her as a foreign witch, bewitching a Roman hero to justify war. This was a war of words before it was a war of ships. Octavian's propaganda created the myth of the femme fatale we know today. The Battle of Actium was the turning point. Despite their combined forces, the tide of history was shifting toward the burgeoning Roman Empire. Cleopatra retreated to Alexandria, preparing for a final stand. She tried to negotiate for her children's safety, ever the strategist until the end. Octavian arrived in Egypt. Antony took his own life. Cleopatra found herself alone, facing a conqueror who wanted her as a trophy. She chose her own end. By denying Octavian the chance to parade her through Roman chains, she secured her dignity and her legend. Her death marked the end of the Ptolemaic dynasty. Egypt became a Roman province, but Cleopatra's influence would never truly vanish. She wasn't just a lover. She was a queen, a mother, and a polyglot who managed the world's most complex political landscape. She was the only person in the ancient world who came close to stopping the Roman Empire's total dominance of the Mediterranean. To see her as only a seductress is to ignore her genius. She was a ruler who played the Game of Thrones with unparalleled skill. Alexandria fell, but the story of its last queen remains a testament to the power of intellect over brute force. Today, we reevaluate her legacy, not as a victim of passion, but as a political supercomputer who almost changed history. Cleopatra VII, the pharaoh who defied an empire, outsmarted her rivals, and remains the most iconic leader of the ancient world.